At the hour of 6:30 having arrived, I will call the regular meeting of the Columbus Common Council to order for Tuesday, December 20th, 2016. Ann will take the roll, please.
Tome.
Here.
Draxler.
Here.
Hendrickson.
Here.
Malat.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Rules excused. Crombie.
Here. If you are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And this meeting was noticed in accordance with applicable Wisconsin state statutes. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda? Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Correspondence and communications. We have one public sign up tonight. Mario Quintana. All right. If you could speak up there so they can.
Oh, sure. And I have some pictures
Okay.
I'll bring around that relate to my topic. As soon as I'm into it a little bit here. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to read. Normally I just sort of ad-lib things, but I want to be sensitive to the amount of time that I speak, and I want to cover my subject in all its points. And so, here we go. Good evening. Firstly, I would like to wish our mayor and the city council a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I would also like to thank the council for the opportunity to vocalize our situation. Your time and consideration are deeply appreciated. In February of this year, my wife and I moved into a brand new house at 500 Ann Street, the parcel just east of the Columbus Water Tower. We had just moved from a large Victorian house and the comparative hustle and bustle of a rapidly growing Sun Prairie. We have grown to truly love and appreciate Columbus in the short time we've lived here. The people of Columbus have been warm and accepting and friendly to us almost without exception. When we selected our lot, we were not informed that a snowmobile trail would run all the way across the back of our yard. We actually planted some arbor vitae trees at the back of our lot for privacy, since our privacy is really important to us. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed two men putting up signs at the base of the water tower hill on the side facing the bank, the Associated Bank. I made an inquiry as to what they were doing. Imagine my surprise when one of the men told me they were marking off a snowmobile trail. I must have been visibly surprised because the man with the sign immediately added the trail was not active the winter before due to lack of snow. I was even more shocked when I saw the trail markers ran the entire length of my backyard. I ran right inside right away and told my wife about the trail. We were stunned at first, then angry. How could this be allowed to happen without consulting us? How could our builder not have known? On closer inspection, I found the trail runs along the entire edge of our backyard, just over our property line on what we confirmed later is Associated Bank property. All of a sudden, the pound of a 2-pound sledge wrecked our sense of privacy and left us feeling betrayed. I have some pictures here of how the trail runs, and of a piece of fencing that I'll be talking about later. Okay. There are a number of reasons we feel running a snowmobile trail through the back of our yard and our housing development is a bad idea. The first is that we were not included in the decision to open the trail, even though we are seriously affected. No effort was made to contact us or our builder, even though the trail passes only 50 feet away from the back of our house. Privacy issues. One can easily see into our home from the trail. This past Saturday, we counted 16 snowmobiles passing our home, and a number of them looked straight at and were able to see into our house through the sliding glass doors that let out onto our deck. Our next-door neighbors are unhappy about the trail, since their privacy has also been compromised, and they plan to install a fence next year that could be hit by a snowmobile. The trail is open, I was told, from 7 in the morning until 10 at night. These days, it starts getting dark at 4, making it easy to see in houses that have their lights on, and harder to see obstacles. Safety issues. The trail passes and curves at a set of electrical boxes that control electricity for at least 2 homes. The trail also skirts close to another smaller set of electrical boxes at the base of the water tower hill towards the bank. I informed the local utility of the hazard via email. The next day, I received an email from the president of the Snowblazers Snowmobile Club informing me that a protective fence would be erected to ensure safe passage of snowmobiles. A moment after I read the email while at work, I received a call from my upset wife telling me a bright orange netting now ran the entire length of our property. It is a constant neon bright reminder that we have snowmobiles running morning, noon, and night, much too close to our back windows. In a developing neighborhood, there are also the added hazards posed by pets and kids and the possibility of obstructions accidentally being left on the trail or blown onto it from new construction in the immediate area. I would add that the fence that they erected is now an obstacle because the wind has blown the center of it into the trail. I have a picture of it there. Let's face it, most snowmobile accidents are caused by excessive drinking, driver carelessness, or inexperienced operators. I am certain that riders who belong to the club are more knowledgeable and responsible than most. But to my knowledge, the club has no control over who uses this trail. It only takes one drunk, disorderly, or inexperienced rider having a serious accident or damaging property to cast a permanent pall over the existence of the entire trail. I believe there is an increased likelihood of mishap where the trail passes through a developed neighborhood. In addition, riders from out of town are not invested in protecting our community. They could simply cause their damage and leave it behind when they head for home. It is really only a matter of time before an accident happens. Finally, there is the issue of future right-of-way. A good chunk of the trail passes over parcel 1450.13, owned by Stephen and Tammy Naus of Sun Prairie, some of the original developers of the Cardinal Estates subdivision in question. The parcel is, as of yet, not built upon. I assume the club followed proper procedure in obtaining permission to cross this lot. I have enlisted the help of the builder of our home, Ryan Justman, to contact Mr. and Mrs. Naus to find out if they intend to sell the lot for development in the near future. If this is the case, the club will have to reroute their trail anyway. I want to make clear that my wife and I are in no way anti-snowmobile or anti-business. We have no desire whatsoever to shut down the entire trail, only to see the portion of it passing within our neighborhood rerouted as soon as possible. When the snowmobile trail in question was conceived of, the portion of Cardinal Estates our house now occupies was a cornfield. As a matter of fact, when we broke ground for our new home, our entire side of Ann Street was undeveloped. The cornfield is gone. In its place, lining the south side of Ann Street and the end of Meadow Lane, are no less than 7 new houses with more on the way. The nature of the neighborhood has changed radically in less than a year. We believe the time has come for one more change. When the City Council approved a snowmobile trail to run through our neighborhood, the needs of individual future homeowners may have been forgotten. We would entreat the council to consider our request and to facilitate the rerouting of this trail to ensure the privacy and safety of the new residents of Cardinal Estates today. Thank you once again for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Right. And then we also have John Marks signed up from the Hillside Cemetery Board.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Crumby. I'm president of the cemetery board, and as I was watching the last meeting of the council, you people took Signature Landscape as the provider for lawn mowing for 2017 and 18. And Mayor Crumby says there was just a matter of few dollars difference between the two bids. Well, at $97.41 is quite a bit of money, I think. And in a year's time, after 26 mowings, that's $2,532.99 at $97.41 more. And at Dwayne's Lawn Care, it's $15,000 And at Dwayne's Lawn Care, the total after 26 mowings is $2,532.99. That's Dwayne's mowing. And at Coughlin's mowing, it is $1,597.41 per mowing. And in 2018, Coughlin goes up $109.14 to $1,646.64. Dwayne's Lawn Care in 2018 is $1,537.50. And the difference between the two people vying for the lawn contract over the 2 years, there's a difference of $5,370.63 for the term of the 2-year contract. With that amount of money, Hillside could slurry more roads, and we need a new roof on the chapel within a year or two. The cemetery board discussed both contracts and recommended Dwayne's Lawn Care. Why shouldn't the council take that into consideration when they award the contract? We've had a few issues over the years with Signature Lawn Care. Hitting monuments, driving over flat government markers, hitting smaller monuments and twisting them on the base, driving over freshly seeded lawn graves that were just seeded. And last year, we were resetting monuments at the cemetery with the inmates' help from Burke Center. And they were up there mowing lawn, and they were blowing the grass and the dirt on the new concrete that we had just got done setting. And sometimes when it's a dry season, we are paying for mowing that shouldn't be done. I go up there periodically and trim brush that's around the monuments, and Gloria Molchek, who is the secretary, also does the same. And should the mayor make suggestions to the council as to who should get the contract? At our cemetery board meetings, it's the decision up to the board members. It isn't up to me. So thank you.
Thank you, John. A couple of things. First of all, the mayor doesn't get a vote on the council. That's clear. I am allowed to speak at council meetings. That is the prerogative of the mayor. And I made a suggestion to the council, and the council unanimously went with what I suggested. I want to point out that, John, you and I both care deeply about that cemetery.
Right.
I know you do, and I do as well. Of the 6 elected officials here tonight, I believe that I'm the only one with blood relatives or any relatives buried in that cemetery. My family's history in this city goes back to 1849. I own 4 lots in the cemetery. My mom owns 4, including one where my father is unfortunately buried. So I care deeply about that cemetery, and I think that John Coughlin and Signature Lawn Care has done an outstanding job in the cemetery. I know this past year he did more mowings basically for free in exchange for getting payment in a lump sum. So I think John, we share a deep concern for that cemetery, and we have a difference of opinion on this issue, but I think at the end of the day, the council went with Signature Lawn Care, a local, well-known commodity here, and that was the decision of the council. So,
But I didn't see where there was any discussion from the council members on participating in this.
but they did vote unanimously as to that. So that's how it works.
Was there any input from Davis Clark from Public Works?
They made recommendations, but No elected official is required to abide by the recommendation of staff. That's not how it works.
Usually when the cemetery board recommends somebody to the council, it's approved by the council, but this time it didn't happen.
So thank you for coming tonight, John. All right, we have the consent agenda. There were no more sign-ups tonight. Did you want to say something?
Well, I'd like to, yeah.
Well, you're
I'm going from going along there. I think I have a right to speak.
well, that's debatable, but I'll allow it since you didn't sign up. Assuming
Well,
there's no objection
I didn't know
from
I
the
had to
council.
sign up. If that had been necessary, I would have. I've been doing this business since 1985. I did cemeteries for 14 years. I give my son the business this past year. He's been doing it since 2002. But I've never seen, and I'm going to be honest with you, I might not say the words right, but I've never seen, at the last meeting, Mayor, you come up and you said you wanted to go with whoever you just said, John something, and it was costing $100 more. That was the end of that. If you sit and figure it out for 26 weeks, that's $2,600 a year. That's $5,200 in 2 years. I've been at a lot of these meetings, and always, like Davis has been at, his voice means something, and they have a committee there that talks about this stuff, and the only thing the mayors ever did was, if the vote was tied, was a yes or a no. Here you at the last meeting, and if memory serves me right, most of the board members were like this when you said we're going with John, and then you turned around and said that he met personally with you. That's sucking up to me, and I don't buy that stuff. I've been through a lot of these things. Davis is the man that we should be dealing with, and you people should make the decision on your own, not going by just what he says. He basically told you what to do. That's all I got to say.
All right, well, thanks for stopping in tonight. I appreciate it. We have the consent agenda. There are 6 items on the consent agenda. Are there any requests to remove anything from the consent agenda?
No.
Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? New business number 1, consider and take action on a contract with Columbia County for a waste collection for 2017 and 21. I believe that the Corporation Counsel's office made some changes. Paul, do you want to explain those to us? That you've worked with Attorney Ruff on that?
What I hope is the final version of the contract is on your, in front of your chairs tonight. After the Corporation Council sent that down to Patrick, I just had a couple of very small changes, which I think have been made now between Patrick and Ann and myself. And really, the only significant issue that we had is trying to firm up the definition of what a residential unit is within the agreement. He had it listed about 4 different ways, and we've cleaned that up so it's the same all the way through the document, and I think everything else is very consistent with what you saw at your last meeting and what you are prepared to execute and go forward with.
All right, thank you. Any questions? All right, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the contract.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Ann will take the roll.
Drexler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Tome.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item 2, consider and take action on a task order with R&M for survey work on State Highway 89. Jason, do you want to add anything?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yeah, I just wanted to just recap this. Was a request to do some survey work out there on the State Highway 89 corridor for the SMA. The deadline or the due date that's anticipated for the 30% design is the end of the year, which kind of came about pretty abruptly. I will add that we did include some time for the design component in the change order too. I think we had talked last time about kind of getting the survey going, but we put a little cost in there for just the 30% design. Being this project is so far out to final plans out in 2021, I just contracted with enough money to get the 30% design completed and over. So you do see there's a little more here than the original survey number we were talking about. But the DOT also indicated that they want to have meetings repeatedly every couple months, just kind of as a status update with staff and the city and myself. And so I put some costs in there to cover that too. So I would envision that this would pretty much be the only, at least at this time that I'm aware of, the only money that would be spent on this project in this coming year. There might be some more design obviously coming next year in 2018 or something like that. But so anyways, it was, I kind of broke it out in here as well so you can see the different components of the task order. But that was the intent, was to get the 30% design in, attend some meetings and complete the survey work. So
Thank you. Any questions or discussion for Jason?
One question.
Yeah.
Is this budgeted through the sewer utility then, or is this a city task order?
Yeah, it will come out of the collection system replacement funds through the sewer.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I would entertain then a motion to approve the survey work.
Make a motion to approve the survey work.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Malat,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Tome,
Aye.
Traxler,
Aye.
unanimous.
Thank you. Item 3 is consider and take action on a memorandum of understanding between the City of Columbus and Columbia County Senior Nutrition Program for 2017. I'm assuming we're making Joe Ruff very busy at Columbia County. So I would entertain then a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and will take the roll.
Malat,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Tome,
Aye.
Traxler,
Aye.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
unanimous.
Thank you. Item 4 is consider and take action on the use of 2016 bond proceeds for resurfacing the pool and replacing the sand in the filters at the pool. Patrick, it looks like you want to talk.
Yeah, just briefly, Amy Jo wasn't able to come tonight, so at the committee of the whole, we had provided the contractors that had provided bids to the recreation department or to DPW for the resurfacing, and the selected contractor is Mid-America. We included the bids. There's also an agreement that's included in your packet, but I think we have a little bit of back and forth yet to go with the contractor to clean a few things up. But I think at this point, the important thing is just some feedback on going forward with Mid-America so that we can get a date scheduled for the project so that it's done timely before the swimming season. So
All right.
I would anticipate a contract to come back for approval.
Okay. And Mid-America's, that's the preferred
That's the
vendor?
preferred vendor, yes.
Okay. Any discussion? So then I would entertain a motion to allow staff to move forward with negotiating a final contract with Mid-America.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and will take the roll.
Reed,
Aye.
Tome,
Aye.
Traxler,
Aye.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Malat,
Aye.
unanimous.
Thank you. Item 5, consider and take action on Resolution 2716, final resolution for the public improvements levying special assessments against benefited properties. Jason, did you want to add anything? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Tome,
Aye.
Traxler,
Aye.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Malat,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
unanimous.
Thank you. Item 6, we have consider and take action on Resolution 2816, resolution authorizing the purchase of property located at 1149 West James in the city of Columbus. Paul?
This resolution before you tonight is in preparation for the actual closing and purchase of the property at 1149 West James Street, which is currently the Countryside Ford parcel that is being vacated, I guess. The title work for this transaction has been ordered, and as soon as it comes back and we determine that it's clean, then we'll be ready to close the transaction with the people from Countryside and the city. And what this resolution does is the council authorizing Mayor Crombie and Clerk Donahue to sign all the documents necessary to get the closing done.
All right. Any discussion? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution. I would also note that the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands has approved the loan request, and Treasurer Manley has been working with them as far as receipt of funds. So that was approved, I believe, yesterday. So then we still need a motion, correct, Ann?
Yes.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 28-16.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Ann will take the roll.
Draxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Tome.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item 7, we have the request of Columbus Holdings LLC, Columbus Holdings 2 LLC for an additional driveway access to Transit Road. There is a representative from Countryside here if there are any questions on that. Otherwise, it does need to be formally approved by the council. Did you want to say anything, or?
No, just
Okay.
if you have any questions regarding.
Okay. Jason, did you?
Yeah, I'd just like to take a second and just review this with staff. The site plan was originally approved at an early stage of the construction, was I think in summer, to construct the site plan, which we approved. Consequently, the landowner came back and looked at dividing the lot up slightly differently. There was an initial CSM that was approved and recorded, and they're obviously tonight here with action on a secondary CSM to kind of divide off the lot. What that division does, and I just want to make everybody aware of it, is it causes a joint driveway. There's the code allows for 2 driveways on any one side of a parcel or street frontage for a commercial lot, which they did have. By adding a property line here and adding there was a drive there, but they were improving it to be asphalt paved, and then obviously to be accessed to this lot, which just caused the 3rd driveway. From a compliance standpoint, the driveway is just an additional driveway, and we felt like it was important that, there would be some direction given by council for approval of that, just simply because it's not allowed by ordinance. Width-wise, it makes sense. There was access to 2 parcels off this joint drive, and we did request that they provide a joint driveway easement for accessibility for both property owners, the existing and the future as well. So I think we've covered that fairly thoroughly, but certainly it's the issue before you tonight. The only other thing that I will add is, typically, when we do allow these driveways on these rural sections of roadways, we will require that they upgrade the culverts, the concrete, and the right-of-way so they're more durable and long-lasting, and that they make sure that the drainage is properly graded. Many cases, we do require curbs in these entrances to help direct the water so the water gets channeled properly and it doesn't flow out into the roadway or something. And so those were comments that we had upon approval of this driveway, was just to make sure that if we were going to treat it as a driveway, that we'd be considering that we would require upgrades to the driveway as such. And so that was maybe more of the concern from staff, was that we were going to handle the approval of the 3rd driveway if that's allowed, and then make sure that there was some improvements to that drive as we would normally see when we do approve these site plans. This was kind of a little bit of after the fact, because the site was already under construction and most of it was paved this fall. And, we just wanted to make sure that we had all the pieces together for you tonight when we came through. I don't particularly have any objections to the driveway. It's just we want to make sure that we're being consistent with how we're approving things and for your consideration for information. So.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. Thank you. My name is James Cambier. I'm Vice President of Countryside Auto Group. I think that the issue that comes into play is there was a design of those property lines. That third driveway in question actually falls under the separate property of the existing building that's there, which would, if you look at it, really gives it the only access to that. The other driveway is actually for a loading dock on the existing building. We don't have a problem with doing improvements. Obviously, you can see our property and what we've invested in the location. Our plans are we're doing some refurbishing of that current building with plans to list that for sale probably in the near future, next year sometime for whatever business would be interested in it. So that driveway actually falls into that separate category. One of the concerns too is obviously when the engineers design the parking lot, the water runoff does run to the center of the rear parking lot, front parking lot, whatever parking lot you're in. The only water that would be coming off would be off the back of that driveway. Installing curb and gutter, obviously we get it, but there is no curb and gutter on the street itself. So it's just basically open. There is a current culvert in that drive currently, as far as to our knowledge that we can see. So it's just one of those things that want to point all that stuff out of there. So in actuality, it's not even a third driveway. It's really the driveway for that separate property. So I think when it was first designed, first was laid out, that was kind of thought that that was part of the property. So in the process of redoing it and rezoning, whatever was all done at that particular time, I don't have that drawing with me with the new lines, but I'm sure you as a council probably have that. So thank you.
So it's just so I understand correctly, it's already existing. Right now, it goes currently with the older building, but because of how the lot line is going to be done, it's going to be with the new property. Is that right, Jason?
No, it actually, as far as my understanding and on the drawing that I have, it shows that it does fall into the category, and maybe we can shed some light on it.
Yeah, I just have it up on my laptop here. So it is an existing driveway. Previously with the last CSM, this was combined as one entire lot. So this driveway would have fell on that. But the new property line, the driveway is a joint driveway. It does span both lot line, on both sides of that lot line, although it's primarily on the adjacent lot. Part of it is on this lot too. So, and it does have access to the new Ford lot. So I would consider it kind of a gray area, is an essence of, is it truly a third driveway? I would deem it as a third driveway because it does have access to both lots. But again, because it's a joint driveway, we just wanted to make sure that, you were aware of this issue and we had some kind of resolution to it. Again, I from a traffic standpoint, from a design standpoint, we don't particularly have any issue with it from a staffing standpoint, but we just wanted to make sure that we kind of dotted the i's and crossed the t's on this. And if you felt strongly one way or another, we can discuss it, or the owner can, obviously they're here. So
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I think because of that line that we would use that for that like the gray area you'd call it. Someone were to purchase it, they may in fact change that how that enters anyway because of that separate lot. So just those things I want to point out to make sure. So if there's any questions that I can help with, I think we've answered everything that we could for you.
Any questions?
Well, Mike, I have a question, maybe probably for Jason. Do we really need curb and gutter if it's that would be the only property that has curb and gutter? I guess it's just a little confusing, the purpose.
I should retreat back to my seat. The ordinance right now calls for all developed parking lots over 20 stalls to have curb and gutter, and that's what the ordinance requires. Okay. With that being said, generally we will review these situations based on the fact that the ordinance is aging. Part of the new trends with parking lots are to eliminate curb and allow stormwater to sheet flow off hard surfaces, asphalt areas. The reason being is generally you want to get your stormwater into a green area for treatment purposes rather than getting it into a pipe. It's kind of the new trend, more widely acceptable stormwater credits. When we review these, there are situations where, as a staff level, we'll look at these and say, does it make sense to have curb there? What's the ultimate intent? What are they trying to improve? And those are the type of site plans when we come forward and say there might be exceptions to that curb on everything rule. In these particular cases, where we have an unfinished roadway, right, there's no curb to tie into, but yet when we look at the curb as being a means for channeling flow around radiuses, not causing erosion points and things like that, that's when we'd require the curb. And in this particular case, again, I'm fine with no curb on that. They've obviously installed curb on their other two entrances along that roadway. So currently, this would be quasi the third entrance, and they have curb on two of them. They've installed that to fit with their parking lot and their image and, maintenance. But this driveway, they're asking not to have the curb installed. We don't know what could happen to this drive in the future. I agree, it could be eliminated, it could be relocated or something in the future. I guess there's no way to tell if it's going to be permanent. So that's another, exception if you're willing to, not install the curb. From a drainage standpoint, I don't particularly have any issues with it, but again, it's kind of the background of why we asked for that when we do put these together, in the first place. So,
Does anyone? I don't particularly care if there's no curb on. It's already there and existing, and if they're looking at selling that property, it's likely going to change anyways, depending on what the new owner wants to do, or it may not. But so unless there's any, Michael?
Yes.
This is probably more for Jason.
Oh,
as well.
okay.
If we forego the curb and gutter now, if say 10 years down the road, if there's road improvements or that road is rebuilt or something significant happens, that's a point where we could basically ask them to put curb and gutter in when that's more defined, I guess.
likely that would be the appropriate time. We would change the drainage patterns, probably introduce some storm sewer into that area and curb all the roadsides. So then we'd have something to match into. Right now it just kind of terminates and ends. With existing entrances, we did allow them to channel water in a flume back into the ditch. So we're really conveying water out of the driveway entrance, kind of around the radiuses back into the ditch. If we left it uncurbed, it would essentially just sheet flow into the ditch at some particular location. It's hard to say exactly how it would work until we got a heavy rain, but I don't foresee it running out onto the road or causing an issue, particularly with the traffic movement on the city street. At this point, I think it functionally it works.
Okay, thanks. One other question was,
Yep.
Did this go through the plan commission then? They recommended approval or?
It was not the last meeting, it was
2 meetings ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in with some of the things that the Plan Commission took care of last week. So-
Okay.
Prior to the survey going through the plan commission.
Okay.
Survey makes it easier to see what this is all about.
Thank you. One thing I'd like to add too, and it's the cost of it. It's quite a few thousands of dollars. Obviously, if curb and gutter goes in, obviously we'd, do whatever it has to be and to join that particular, section or however it is when you do that. But to do it now with not knowing, what it's going to be 1, 2, or 10 years from now, the cost of doing it right now is quite a few thousands of dollars for something that we don't really know, or it can be. So just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
So then I would entertain a motion to approve the third driveway.
Make a motion to approve the third driveway.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Hendrickson,
Aye.
Palat.
Aye.
Reed. Aye. Tome,
Aye.
Traxler,
Aye.
unanimous.
Thank you. 8 is consider and take action on request of Columbus Holdings 2 LLC for approval of a CSM for parcels 1186.2 and 1185.B. This was also at the Plan Commission. Patrick, is there anything you want to report from the last Plan Commission meeting, which I was not able to attend?
The Plan Commission recommended approval upon satisfaction of the engineer's comments.
Okay. And does Countryside have any objection to the, okay. So then I would entertain a motion to approve the CSM subject to meeting the engineer's comments.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Tome.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item 9 is consider and take action on request from Columbus Holdings 2 LLC for a rezoning on a portion of parcel 1186.2 from highway commercial to industrial. Patrick, if you'd report from the plan commission.
Like the last item, Plan Commission approved, subject to satisfaction of engineers' comments.
All right. So then I would entertain a motion to approve the rezone.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Reed.
Aye.
Tome.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck at the new location. So.
Please come and visit us.
All right, we have number 10. We have operator licenses. There were 2 at our spots, Blake Wagner and Monica S. I'd entertain a motion. That's the complete list. I'm not going to try. So I would entertain a motion to approve the operator licenses.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Tome.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. We have claims in the amount of $628,047.36. I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
Motion to approve the claims.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, and we'll take the roll.
Traxler.
Aye.
Hendrickson.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Malat.
Aye.
Tome.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item 12, Patrick.
Thank you, Mayor. As most of property owners know, tax bills are arriving. The treasurer's staff are ready to process them. Just a note that due to the way the holidays fall this year, that some of the observed holidays for the offices will cause some closures. We have them posted on the entrances this Friday, the 26th, or the 23rd, Monday the 26th, Friday the 30th, and Monday the January 2nd. So just to get that out, we have that on our website as well. I mentioned this at the last meeting, but felt it was important enough to reiterate now that we have it official with Columbia County, the holiday schedule for pickup, continuing with Advanced for their last week, will be the same. The holidays won't affect the schedule, and at least initially with Columbia County, everyone's day should be the same. Everyone should just do what they're used to for the new pickup. Look for information to be dispersed in utility bills, and we're promoting the new service. Also, very clear that winter's hit us, so just a reminder for folks to observe the winter parking rules, the snow and ice removal. We've got some notes on the website, but just brings a whole set of things to pay attention to. And just one last thing as a note, the current EMS Lifestar Director, Warner Biederman, is retiring after the end of the year here. So Warner has always worked well as part of the EMS group, and Lifestar's done a good job for the city and the entire EMS coverage area. So congratulate Warner on that. Thank you.
Does anyone have anything to add up here? All right. The Pavilion 100th birthday party was postponed due to inclement weather, so HLPC is looking for a new date in January for that party. So look forward to that, and just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season and a happy New Year. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion in 2 seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. We'll take a 5 or 10 minute break or so between meetings. Thank you.